Samuel, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, and I am handling computer architecture and organization. In this video, we are going to see about the internal memory or the main memory. We have already seen about what is a memory, what are the characteristics of a memory. Now, what are the types of main memory, or what are the types of internal memory available in the computer system? So we have two types of internal memories. The one is the RAM, the next one is the ROM, the random access memory, and the next one is the ROM, which is fixed in the computer, which is fabricated in a computer, read-only memory. So the semiconductor memory, or in other words we can say random access memory types, are which are called as semiconductors. Semiconductors are materials which have a conductivity between conductors, generally metals. So the conductivity of electricity between the metals or between the materials is called as semiconductors, and non-conductors are insulator, such as mostly ceramics, that does not conduct, or the electricity does not pass through that. So that is why we have insulation tapes available. So this table represents the consolidated view of the internal memory, the random access memory, the read-only memory, and the types of read-only memory. We will see briefly about it. The random access memory. The random access memory is used to read and write data in a computer, and the most important property or important characteristic of a RAM is a volatile, where contents are lost when the power is switched off. Whenever you switch off the computer or a system or a phone like that, it will disappear. The data will be erased electronically, and RAM is mainly used for temporary storage. So whenever we want to buy a new mobile model, or a laptop or a PC, first thing all will look out is what is the capacity of the RAM. The RAM here is divided into two types. One is the dynamic RAM, which is based on capacitors, leaks, thus needs refresh. So you need refresh every time to store the data. To store the data, you need electricity, you need power, you need voltage. The next one is the static RAM, SRAM. Again, SRAM is based on flip-flops. There is no leaks, does not need refresh. It's like the gates used. That is, we have already seen about. We already learned about in the previous semester about the logic gates. Okay. The physical structure of a RAM. This is the physical structure of a RAM, where it looks like a scale. It looks like a scale where it contains memory chips, it contains circuit boards, it contains notches for putting the slot right away. So this is physical structure of your RAM. Next one is we will see about in the RAM. We have seen memory chips that was fabricated in a RAM. So we are going to see a structure or operation of that particular chip or memory chip or a memory cell. A memory cell has two kind of operations. One is for read and write. This is the operation of the memory cell. Next one is we will see about the first two types of RAM. The RAM. The bits are stored as charge in the capacitor. The bits are stored as charge in capacitors. Whenever the charge disappears, or the charge leaks, then you can say there is no bits or no data in the dynamic RAM. The charge is leaks, it needs refreshing whenever the power is switched off. And why we are used, the dynamic RAM is widely used. Why? Because it has a simpler construction and it is smaller in build, less expensive than RAM. It doesn't need more complex understanding of this one, and it has a very simple circuit, and it is slower, and it's used in main memory. And we will see the structure of the dynamic. This is the structure of the dynamic RAM. The address line we've seen in the top is the most important one, where it is used to read or write the data. Whenever the transistor switch is closed, the current flows. Whenever the transistor switch opens, the current will not flow. Write data, for writing the data, the voltage to bit line. A whenever a charge or a voltage pass through a bit line, the transistor opens the switch and the current flows, and it will close for storing the data. Whenever the capacitor is charged, we can see the data has been stored. Whenever there is a leak in capacitor or in the storage, we can see the data has been read. So this is about dynamic one. Next one is the static RAM, where it's more complex than the dynamic RAM, where the bit is stored as on or off switches. There is no charges to leak. It doesn't need refreshing. It is more complex in structure. It is larger than which and more expensive than this RAM. It uses flip-flops, which we would have learned about in digital microprocessor. This is about the complex structure of a static RAM, where it has 5 to 6 transistors, it has 3 to 4 capacitors. So it uses flip-flops to store the data. It doesn't need charge regularly. Next, what is the difference between this RAM and RAM? RAM and RAM is a RAM is volatile, whereas the RAM is a RAM is a volatile, whereas the RAM is non-volatile. RAM is slower compared to the static RAM. It doesn't need refresh like the dynamic RAM, but the most widely used RAMs are dynamic RAMs only. And this is about where the RAMs and the ROMs are located in a motherboard. Next, we will see the types of ROMs available. What is a ROM? A ROM is a read-only memory, which is a permanent fixture in a computer. In a motherboard, it's been permanently fixed. It will not be removed. A read-only memory doesn't need charges like the RAM. Even though you switch off the computer, the data will be there. The data will not be erased like that of a RAM. RAM, if you switch off the computer, the whole data will be flushed out, whereas the ROM, even though you switch off the computer, you switch off the mobile phone, the data will be there for future use. So there are types of ROMs available. First one is a programmable RAM. Next one is erasable. Next one is electrically erasable. Then we had the flash memory, which is, and in technical terms, it is called as flash memory, and we call it, traditionally we call it as USB or the pen drives. Okay, now what are the types of RAMs available? We have already seen about the types of RAM and ROM. Now we will see what are the types of RAMs available. There are two types of RAMs available: the synchronous RAM and the RAM bus RAM. In elements of bus design, we have seen about the synchronous and asynchronous timing. Likewise, the synchronous RAM or the SD-RAM uses a synchronous timing, and the data will be accessed in a sequential way. That is why the CPU does not have to wait for the data has to arrive or when the data will arrive. The CPU know when the data will arrive, because the synchronous RAM follows a sequential order, so it doesn't need to wait for long. In the meantime, it can do something else. Whereas the RAM bus, it is adopted by the Intel Pentium or the Titanium, the main competitor to SD-RAM. It is main competitor to static RAM or the synchronous RAM, because it has a vertical package of all pins on one side. And synchronous RAM, it is distributed. The structure is distributed, whereas the RAM bus, it is packaged in a vertical one. And it compares to SD-RAM, the RAM bus speed is more faster than the RAM. Thank you, and have a nice day.